Watching Sarah get led away in handcuffs feels like Christmas morning, my birthday, and winning the lottery rolled into one deeply satisfying moment of cosmic justice. But the legal consequences are just the beginning of Sarah's complete life implosion. The conviction gets reported in the local newspaper because fraud cases involving multiple victims make good crime reporting. Sarah's mugshot and story get picked up by social media, where her friends and family finally learn the truth about her career as a professional relationship destroyer. The woman who spent years carefully managing her reputation discovers what happens when that reputation gets nuclear bombed by public court records. Her professional life becomes a wasteland that would make post-apocalyptic movies look optimistic. The conviction means she can never work in accounting again, because financial crimes and money management jobs don't mix well in employers' eyes. Her fraud charges show up on every background check, which means most legitimate employers won't consider her for positions requiring basic trust. Sarah has essentially made herself unemployable by being too good at her con artist career. The social consequences prove almost as entertaining as the legal ones. Sarah's family finally understands why she cut her mother out of her life and the grandmother who provided sanctuary. During her cons, feels betrayed and stupid for enabling someone she thought was escaping abuse. Her friends abandon her faster than rats, leaving a sinking ship once they realize they've been socializing with someone who makes career criminals look like part-time hobbyists. Meanwhile, my life starts resembling something functional again. The restitution payments help cover some of the financial damage Sarah caused, though getting money from someone in prison is like squeezing blood from a stone locked in an underground box. I sell the house and move to a smaller place I can actually afford on my own income. The stress-induced weight loss actually makes me look better, so I've got that going for me in a weird way. My family forgives me for the wedding disaster once they understand I was the victim of an elaborate criminal scheme rather than someone with terrible judgment in women. My job performance improves dramatically once I'm not spending mental energy trying to figure out why my fiancé turned into a stranger overnight. Turns out that being systematically destroyed by a professional con artist is actually a reasonable excuse for temporary work performance issues. Sarah's prison experience apparently includes discovering that other inmates don't appreciate people who specialize in destroying families and stealing money from men who thought they were in love. Even criminals have standards about acceptable crimes, and systematically ruining people's lives for money falls outside those standards. She spends most of her sentence in protective custody because general population doesn't appreciate con artists who target decent people. The parole board eventually releases Sarah after 2 years, but her post-prison life makes incarceration look like a vacation. She can't find legitimate work because of her record, can't rent apartments because landlords do background checks, and can't get basic services because everyone assumes she's going to scam them. The woman who spent years perfecting manipulation discovers that her reputation now precedes her everywhere she goes. I hear through the victim support network that Sarah tries moving to different states and starting over, but criminal records follow you everywhere in the digital age. Every time she applies for jobs or housing, her conviction shows up like a neon sign warning people about her history. She basically created a permanent advertisement for her own untrustworthiness that follows her around like a persistent ghost. The best part is knowing that every future relationship Sarah attempts will be haunted by the consequences of what she did to her previous victims. She's created a permanent reputation that makes trust impossible, which means she can never successfully run another long-term con again. Sometimes justice is just giving people exactly what they've earned through their own choices, and Sarah earned herself a lifetime of consequences that no amount of manipulation can undo. Looking back at this whole nightmare, I've learned some valuable lessons about human nature and the importance of paying attention to red flags. Trust your instincts when something feels wrong, because they're usually right even when you don't want them to be. Sometimes, the most therapeutic thing you can do is give someone exactly what they deserve, served with systematic precision and a healthy dose of poetic justice. If you're dating someone who seems too perfect, maybe ask to meet their supposedly abusive family members. You might discover some interesting things about your partner's relationship with reality and basic human decency. And remember, the best revenge isn't always getting even. Sometimes it's just making sure the truth comes out and letting natural consequences do the rest of the work for you.